Hey, I'm William. Today we're going to show you how to test and replace the steam valve assembly on your Samsung dryer. If your dryer has a steam function that won't work or doesn't produce any steam or any error code related to steam issues, then it's probably time to check or replace this part. Now before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to find more appliance repair guides. With over 2 million products in stock and the know-how to help you do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll need a multimeter, channel lock pliers, needle nose pliers, a Phillips head screwdriver, and an 11/16 socket. Also, please remember that safety comes first. Always disconnect your dryer by unplugging it or switching the breaker off before you start working on it. The first thing we're going to do is turn off the water supply valve and grab our channel lock pliers. We're going to use the pliers to remove the water hose from the valve and then inspect the valve for any debris that can clog it. If it's clear like we see here, then we can access the main control to test the valve. We're using our Phillips screwdriver to remove the 2 screws that hold the top panel at the back. Then we're moving the top panel to the back, lifting it up and setting it to the side. With that out of the way, we're using our Phillips screwdriver to remove the 3 mounting screws that hold the main control housing to the front and side frame. Then we can carefully rotate the main control so that we can get access to the wires and make sure no bare wires are touching any metal. Now we're going to be testing for live voltage. Before we do, remember that extreme care should always be taken to protect against electrical shock, which could potentially result in serious injury. Please do not test live voltage if you're uncomfortable using a multimeter. When you're ready, plug the dryer power cord in and grab your meter. We're setting our meter to volts AC, which looks like a V with a squiggly line. Then we're placing our black meter probe at the black wire on connection CN7, and it's going to stay here. We're using the red probe on the white wire and the red wire of connection CN5, which is just to the right of CN7. We're starting with the red probe being set to the white wire, and then we're going to start a steam cycle. There should be 120 volts AC within 2 minutes. If voltage is present, like we see on this dryer here, then we can move the red probe to the red wire, and we should get the same reading. If voltage isn't present at the red wire, then we'll wait 2 more minutes. A steam dryer temporarily sends voltage to the valve solenoids every 2 minutes, and it's possible that we had missed the voltage signal because of the board timing out on the steam. If voltage is present within the next 2 minutes but steam doesn't enter the drum, then the valve has failed. Since we found out that the valve assembly has failed on this dryer, I'm going to show you how to replace it in case you ran into the same problem. To get to the steam valve assembly, now we're lifting up on the console and pulling it away from the dryer. We're disconnecting the wires behind the console on the right. Then we can lift up on the console and setting the console to the side. Now we're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to remove the 2 screws behind the door in front of the lint trap and the lint filter. We also need to remove the 4 screws at the top of the panel. Then we can slightly lift the front panel up and rotate it forward. Once we've done that, we can disconnect the door switch harness and completely remove the front panel. You can just set the front panel to the side for now. Now we're unlatching the wire retainers from the wire harness. Then we can use our Phillips screwdriver to remove the 5 Phillips screws from the top plate and set it to the side as well.
We also need to disconnect the wire from the drum lamp.
We're also removing the screws from the lint duct, pulling the duct down and setting it to the side. Next, we're removing the 4 Phillips screws from the front bulkhead and disconnecting the sensor bar wire connector. Now we can lift the front bulkhead up and pull it forward. At this point, we can reach back and remove the belt from the idler pulley. Once that's done, we can remove the drum and belt and set them to the side. Once we've done that, we can move to the back of the dryer and remove the 2 Phillips screws holding the valve to the back panel. Now we're removing the 6 screws holding the rear bulkhead to the back panel. With the screws removed, we can remove the rear bulkhead out along with the steam valve assembly. Now we can remove the wires from the valve assembly. We're also disconnecting the tubing from the valve. Then we can remove the nozzle mounting screws from the rear bulkhead. Now that we have the valve disconnected from the tubing, we're going to go ahead and grab our 11/16" socket and our channel lock pliers. Our channel lock pliers are going to go onto the back of the nozzle assembly on the brass elbow, while we use our 11/16" socket to loosen up the retaining nut on the front side of the nozzle assembly. Once that has been removed, we're going to go ahead and remove the plastic housing from the nozzle assembly, and this will allow us to pull the nozzle out from the rear of the bulkhead. Here's the old steam valve assembly. This specific one here is discontinued, but you may have a similar one that's still available, so the installation would be the same as the process I'm about to show you. With the plastic housing nut removed from the new assembly, we're going to go ahead and slide that brass elbow nozzle assembly into the rear of the bulkhead, move the plastic housing onto the brass nozzle, and then we're going to secure it with that retaining nut. We're also going to go ahead and secure the 2 Phillips screws to the back of the rear bulkhead assembly, holding that nozzle assembly in place. Now let's put the dryer back together. We're securing the rear bulkhead onto the frame with the 6 Phillips screws we removed earlier. Then we're going to insert the tubing into the valve and make sure that it's in there all the way. We're going to hold the valve by the threads with our one hand while we go ahead and insert 1 screw in as far as we can by hand. Now that we have that in place, we're going to go ahead and tighten it down a little bit, and then we're going to get the 2nd screw in place on that valve. Once we have those screws secured, we're going to go ahead and reattach the wires to the valve assembly. Once that's done, we're going to install the drum and belt and secure the belt to the motor and idler pulley. Then we can grab the front bulkhead, install it, and secure it with the Phillips head screws that we removed earlier. We're also reconnecting the sensor bar wires. Next, we're installing the lint filter housing. We're also going to go ahead and install that lint filter. We need to connect the drum lamp wires and then install the top plate before we secure the wire harness with the retainers. At this point, we can grab the front panel and guide it onto the bottom hinges, connect the door switch wires, and rotate it into place. Then it can be secured with the screws we removed behind the door and at the top. Now we're grabbing the console and setting it down in place. We're also guiding the wires through the top plate and pushing the console into place. Then we can use our Phillips screwdriver to rotate the main control back in place and secure it with the 3 Phillips screws that we removed earlier. Now we're grabbing our top panel, setting it on the dryer about 3 inches or so from the console, and then sliding it forward. We need to secure the top panel with the final Phillips screws, and with that, we're all done. Don't forget to plug your dryer back in or turn that breaker back on. And make sure you go ahead and get that water supply hose connected back to your dryer and the valve turned back on. You made it! Great job, and we hope this guide helped you fix your Samsung dryer. If you still need a new steam valve assembly or another part, just head over to AppliancePartsPros.com with your model number. Most orders arrive within just a couple of days. We'd also love to hear how your repair experience went, so share your story in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.